Notorious serial killer, Jeffrey Dahmer. Dahmer's alcohol abuse was a significant and troubling aspect of his life. Starting at a young age, he was known to show up to high school drunk, covertly drink in class, and even store liquor in his locker. This pattern of alcohol abuse continued throughout his life, and psychiatrists speculate it was a way for him to cope with his self-loathing over his homosexuality. His alcohol abuse was also a significant factor in his discharge from the army. Despite accusations of sexual assault, Dahmer was discharged for alcohol abuse. Even after an alcohol abuse program failed to show results, he was released and marked unsuitable for military service due to alcohol abuse. Sadly, even during his later crimes, Dahmer would get extremely drunk before murdering his victims, as a way to deal with his distaste for the actual act of murder. His alcohol abuse was a tragic aspect of his life and added to the devastation caused by his heinous crimes. Though it may seem that serial killers often struggle with their urges for years before acting on them, Dahmer's story is a disturbing exception to that rule. Incredibly, Dahmer killed his first victim at just 18 years old, years before he could even legally drink. Most serial killers seem to begin their active crimes around the average age of 29, but Dahmer was a disturbing outlier. His first victim was Stephen Hicks, whom he had brought back to his home. But it was when Hicks attempted to leave that Dahmer's true nature was revealed. He grabbed a barbell and committed the first of many murders. Dahmer's rage in response to an attempt to abandon him would be a key part of his psychosis, one that would drive much of his motivation to kill. This is just a glimpse into the disturbing mind of one of the most notorious serial killers of all time. Dahmer's murders were among the most gruesome and viscerally disgusting in history, and it would be easy to assume that he was a sadistic individual. But in fact, Dahmer was not a sadist in the psychological sense. A sadist derives pleasure from the prolonged and intense suffering of the victim, in the gruesome vein of the toolbox killers, which we highly recommend not researching on a full stomach. But Dahmer's actions were driven by a different goal entirely. He sought complete sexual submission from his victims. Despite this, Dahmer's reliance on alcohol to follow through with even his relatively quick killings suggests that suffering was never Dahmer's goal for his victims. Perhaps the most unfathomably evil act inspired by Dahmer's desire for sexual submission was his attempt to create mindless sexual servants of his abductees. He attempted this through lobotomies and other horrific experiments, such as drilling a hole in their skull and using boiling water and hydrochloric acid to cause brain damage. These acts were truly heinous and beyond comprehension, and it is hard to fathom the depravity of Dahmer's mind. It's easy to turn serial killers into a caricature, an abstraction that echoes back to ideas of demons and possession instead of deep mental illness and calculated horror. But Dahmer's admitted goals are straight out of a pulp horror novel. One of Dahmer's most disturbing goals was to create an altar of skulls and bones from the skeletons of his victims. He envisioned it as a place where he could sit on a black chair and immerse himself completely in the aura of his crimes. This twisted desire for a macabre shrine to his victims is a chilling reminder of the depth of his depravity. Tragically, Dahmer's life would come to an end not through the justice system, but in prison, where he was murdered by another inmate. The other inmate claimed that the guards left them alone with that specific outcome in mind. This video is a reminder that serial killers are not simply monsters, but individuals suffering from deep mental illness, and that their actions should be viewed with empathy and understanding.